Just eat these every day, and you will live to 100. Not supplements, not injections, not expensive treatments. Real food, real timing, real habits. This isn't hype. This isn't a miracle cure. This is something humans have been doing for centuries and somehow forgot. And right now, inside your body, there's a repair system so powerful that scientists once thought it was impossible. It can clean damaged cells, slow aging, lower disease risk, and help your body rebuild itself. But most people never activate it. Not because they can't, because they don't know how. Why this matters? Look around. People are living longer but not healthier. More medication, more fatigue, more chronic pain, more brain fog, more anxiety about getting old. We've been told aging is inevitable, that your energy has an expiration date, that your metabolism must slow. That pain is normal. That disease is just part of life. But then, there are places on Earth where this doesn't happen, where people don't just live longer. They live better. They walk without pain. They stay mentally sharp. They garden. They dance. They laugh. And one of those places is Okinawa, Japan. In 1975, a Japanese cardiologist named Dr. Makoto Suzuki received a strange call. There's a 100-year-old woman in a village, they told him. She's outside, cutting grass, with a sickle. He expected to find someone frail. Instead, he found someone stronger than people half her age. Not exceptional, normal. That's what shook him. This wasn't a miracle. This was a pattern. So he stayed. He studied them. And what he discovered would quietly rewrite what we know about aging. These people weren't just living longer. They weren't surviving. They were thriving. At 90, they farmed. At 95, they walked miles. At 100, they danced. Their arteries were cleaner than people in their 50s. Their cancer rates were dramatically lower. Their minds stayed sharp. So Suzuki asked, what are they eating? How are they living? What do they do differently? And the answer was shocking. Not because it was complex, but because it was simple. Around the same time, another Japanese scientist was studying something that sounded pointless. Cells eating themselves. Most researchers laughed it off. Just cellular garbage disposal. But Dr. Yoshinori Ohsumi believed it mattered. So he started yeast cells. And what he saw would eventually win him a Nobel Prize. Cells weren't dying. They were cleaning, breaking down old, damaged parts, recycling them, rebuilding themselves. This process is called autophagy, and it is one of the most powerful mechanisms for longevity ever discovered. What autophagy really is, 6:30 to 8 o'clock. Think of your body like a house. Over time, pipes rust, floors crack, junk piles up, systems fail. If you never repair anything, the house collapses. Autophagy is your body's renovation crew. It finds damaged parts, breaks them down, recycles them, and builds new, stronger cells. It's been linked to slower aging, lower inflammation, better metabolic health, improved immune function. This is not speculation. This is well-documented cellular biology. And here's the part most people don't know. You already have it. Autophagy doesn't run all the time. It only activates when your body believes it needs to adapt. Not when you're full. Not when insulin is high. Not when you're constantly eating. It turns on when your body says, we need to survive. And this is where Okinawa comes back into the picture. Because without knowing the word autophagy, they were activating it every single day. They follow a principle called harahachibu. It means eat until you are 80% full. Not stuffed, not heavy, not uncomfortable, just content. And this tiny habit does something massive. It creates just enough stress on the body to trigger repair. Not harmful stress, helpful stress, like exercise. When you're constantly stuffed, your cells are busy processing. There's no time for cleaning. But when you stop at 80%, your internal night shift starts working. Modern life shuts this down. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time your body had a break? Late night snacks, sugary drinks, constant grazing, midnight desserts, early breakfasts. Your cells are overwhelmed. Imagine trying to clean your house while someone keeps dumping new trash every 5 minutes. That's what modern eating does. So damage builds up, inflammation rises, aging accelerates, and people think it's normal. It's not. Here's something most people don't realize. Your gut is not just for digestion. It's a command center. About 70% of your immune system lives there. Most of your serotonin is made there. A huge part of your inflammation control happens there. And when your gut is inflamed, everything else suffers. Your skin ages faster. Your brain fog increases. Your energy crashes. Your hormones go out of balance. Japanese doctors noticed this decades ago. One of them, Dr. Hiromi Shinya, examined over 300,000 colons in his career. What he saw shocked him. People eating modern diets had damaged, shortened, inflamed digestive systems. But traditional Japanese eaters, their guts looked younger, cleaner, healthier, and the healthiest ones shared one thing in common. They gave their digestive systems long breaks. Now let's talk about the food, because this is where most people expect some exotic secret. But it's not exotic. It's intentional. Okinawans traditionally ate purple sweet potatoes, bitter melon, seaweed, tofu, leafy greens, small amounts of fish, minimal meat, lots of vegetables. Purple sweet potatoes were their main carb, not white rice, not bread, not sugar. Why does that matter? Because these foods don't spike insulin. And when insulin stays low, autophagy stays on. This is critical. High insulin shuts down your repair system. Low insulin lets it run. Now let's get practical. If you want longevity foods, focus on leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables, sweet potatoes, berries, beans, tofu or tempeh, seaweed, olive oil, nuts, small amounts of fish. Avoid turning food into entertainment. Eat to nourish, not to distract. And remember, fullness is a signal. Listen to it. People who follow these principles often report more stable energy, less brain fog, better sleep, reduced cravings, clearer skin, fewer aches, better mood. Not overnight, but gradually, like a dimmer switch being turned up. You don't suddenly feel different. You slowly feel better. Why this hits deeper than food? Here's the emotional truth. Most people aren't afraid of dying. They're afraid of deteriorating, of losing independence, of becoming a burden, of forgetting who they are, of not recognizing themselves in the mirror. And modern culture quietly normalizes this. Of course you're tired. Of course your joints hurt. Of course your memory is slipping. But that's not the full truth. Your body is not broken. It is overwhelmed. Your body wants to heal. Every second, your body is trying to help you. Repairing, balancing, stabilizing, adapting. But it needs space, time, signals. When you eat constantly, stress constantly, scroll constantly, there's no room for repair. Longevity isn't about doing more. It's about interfering less. You don't need to move to Japan. You don't need special genes. You don't need perfect discipline. You need awareness, consistency, kindness toward your body. Small changes done daily beat extreme changes done briefly. A quiet truth, 46:00, 48:00. Aging is not just about time. It's about damage accumulation. When damage outpaces repair, we decline. When repair keeps up with damage, we thrive. That's the equation. And you influence it daily. With what you eat, when you eat, how you rest, how you move. So let's bring this all together. Longevity isn't magic. It isn't genetics alone. It isn't expensive supplements. It's signals. What you eat sends signals. When you eat sends signals. How often you eat sends signals. Your body is constantly listening. And when you give it simple, whole foods, when you give it time between meals, when you stop eating just because it's time, bored, or emotional, your body finally gets space to repair. That's when inflammation goes down. That's when energy comes back. That's when clarity returns. That's when aging slows. Not because you're forcing it, but because you're finally allowing it. You don't need perfection. You need consistency. You don't need discipline. You need alignment. And you don't need to change everything. You just need to start. If this video helped you understand your body in a new way, don't just scroll away. Your future self is listening right now. Start with one change today. Just one. Maybe it's stopping at 80% full. Maybe it's eating earlier. Maybe it's adding more real food. Maybe it's skipping late night snacking. Small changes compound. If you're serious about living longer and feeling better while you do it, hit the like button so more people can find this. Subscribe if you want more science-backed, real-life longevity strategies without the hype. And comment the word reset if you're committing to trying this for the next 7 days. I read the comments, and I'll be rooting for you. Because living to 100 isn't about luck. It's about choices. And you just made one.